So hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Shaurya, and in today's video I'm going to tell you that how you guys can get your Australian driving license. This is my learner's permit license and I have my test schedule later this month. So how you guys can get your driving license if you have an overseas license already, and how you can get it converted in Australia to a permanent driving license. The rules for different states are different. Like I currently am in Melbourne, so the rules for Victoria are different. I'm going to be telling you specifically about Victoria because that's what I went through. You can check out the rules for the states. Most of them are quite similar. They aren't that different, and you'll be able to convert your overseas license. It's very easy, just 3-4 basic steps involved, and you'll be able to get your licenses converted. So the first step to convert your overseas license to an Australian license, in case I'm gonna be talking specifically about the country India because I'm from India. So the license, that there are two different categories. One category is that you can straight away drive in Australia if you are from specific countries. The list will be available on the VicRoads website. I'll leave a link to where you can get the list from in the description box below. So in case you have an Indian driving license, how you can get it converted to an Australian driving license is very simple. First, you need to go to the VicRoads website. I'll leave the link to that website down below as well. And you need to give your learner's permit test. Before you give your learner's permit test, you have to complete 3 modules. So in those modules, basically what you have to do is to just log on to the website. You have to watch a few videos. You have to give a few random quizzes. It takes some time. It took me about a week to finish all those 3 modules. And once you've finished all those 3 modules, you'll be given a learner's permit test. In the learner's permit test, you have to answer 30 questions, and if you get 27 questions out of those 30 questions right, you will be approved for the test, and then you can get your learner's permit. This is what the learner's permit looks like. Once you have passed the learner's permit test, you can just go directly to the VicRoads office, which they have all around the state. One is inside the CBD itself. You can just go down to the state. You need to bring your ID with you. You need to carry your Indian driving license. You need to carry your passport. They'll take a picture of you, and then you'll submit their passport. They'll take a few, they'll note down your details since when you've had your driving license, and then they will send you this particular license to you via post. You will receive it in your post, in your whatever the address you have. You need to carry your proof of address with you when you go to the center. Once you have this, you will be eligible to give a hazard perception test. Now, what a hazard perception test is, that basically in the hazard perception test, they check how quick your reaction time is to a particular hazard in case that comes up. The hazard perception test, the first one is free. In case you fail that, you have to pay for the next hazard perception test, and it's only valid for 6 months. Only valid for 6 months. So in case you fail your driving test, and that's after 6 months, you'll have to give your hazard perception test again. Once you've passed your hazard perception test, you need to book in a driving test, a physical driving test, where they check your driving skills. This is the most tricky part. This is where most of the people fail, because the rules of Australian the rules of Australian driving are much different as compared to that. In India, you have to do your head checks. There is lane driving. The main thing that's very different from India is lane driving. You have to drive within your lanes. That's what's specifically very different in Australia. While changing lanes, you have to give an indicator. You have to do head checks. You have to do mirror checks. And the instructor sits with you inside your car on the back seat while you're giving your test, for him to see everything that you're doing. That's where most people fail. You can just take a few classes by driving instructors. The classes are quite cheap. They take about $60 an hour, and they tell you everything that you need to know while you're giving the test. The instructor who teaches you driving also sits right beside you while you're giving the test. You can give the test in his car, which I believe is quite convenient. You don't even need to have your own car. Once you have the driving license, you can even buy your own cars. That's what most international students do. That's something that you can do. So it is just these basic steps that are involved in case you want to have your Australian driving license in Victoria. If you want the Victorian driving license, it's very simple. Only these steps are involved. You can do that and have easily your overseas license converted into a Victorian driving license. For those of you who've been driving back in India for years, like I had, it's going to be very easy for you. You just need to know the basic rules, which is going to take 1 or 2 maximum classes. Then you go give the test, get the license, and it's going to be really convenient for you. I would highly recommend you to do this as soon as you arrive in Australia, for the simple reason that this license, it gives you a form of identity. It's your identity. When you're going somewhere, you do not need to carry your passport, because wherever you're going, most of the events are 18 plus. And this is the way you can prove to them that you have 18 plus. Most of the places do not recognize Indian driving licenses as a form of identity. So instead of carrying your passport everywhere you go, it's convenient to even have your license with you. It's really helpful. So yeah, this was everything from my side. In case you have any doubts about any of this, feel free to leave a comment in the comment box below, and I'll be happy to answer it. Also, don't forget me to follow on Instagram. My Instagram handle is the DC Sports Guy. Drop me a text if you've got any doubts. I'll be happy to help you guys out. This was Shaurya, signing out.